Folks, welcome to the long-awaited weekly market recap, going over every trade that we took out throughout the week using CRT and ICT concepts, as well as the lesson of the weeks. What are the lesson of the weeks? What can we use from this week lessons to go for the next week as well on forward through our trading journey so we can improve our trading. As you guys know, YouTube is literally my journaling. I watch my own videos. I come back at this, watch my weekly market recaps. I'll let you watch every video I upload because journaling. As you guys know, every profession has journal. A doctor has his own journal. Literally a cashier has his own journal. Traders have their own journal. Without journaling, you wouldn't know your mistakes. And this week I made a lot of mistakes here. So this weekly market recap is gonna be 5 parts. So I'm gonna make a quick short one on here, just going through Monday, another one just going through Tuesday, another one just going through Wednesday, and another one just going through Thursday, and another one just going through the Friday one. So we'll do all together. It's gonna take a long ass video. So yeah, but I'm not gonna make a video where it's all combined. You just gonna have to go watch each at once. But in this video, we're just gonna be talking about the Monday trade, which Monday trade is very viable trade here. We fucked up on Monday. We should have been no trading day. Looking back on Monday, during that time, like this is a third person view, right? This is why I like the weekly market recap, because on Saturday and Sunday it's gonna be a hectic week for me because I have to come back in a chart, review the week, and review my problems and talk about my problems, especially to you guys, so you guys can learn as well. Because these problems costing me money, right? Costing me fucking pain in the ass, costing me a lot of emotion, costing me literally a lot of depressing moments. Not depressing moments, but I was like, damn, how the fuck did I fuck it up, right? So that when that happens, it fucks up your emotion. So if you're a trader, you question why. So why did the market stop me out? Why I did this? Why did I did that? Why did that? Etc. Etc. Because the market is perfect. The time is perfect. The price and time-based concepts are perfect. Like time and price, they're perfect. Market is controlled. Everything is perfect. The system is perfect, but we're not. So we have to become perfect. How do we become perfect? By journaling, doing all this shit, and especially talking to the fucking viewers. This shit is tough because some could judge me, but I don't give a fuck about nobody judges me. I'm too busy in my life for somebody else to judge my shit, right? You guys are too busy to judge me. You have something going on in your life. I have something going on in my life. We both have problems, and that's why I make these videos, and I don't give a shit about if anybody says anything about it. Okay, I made a mistake on Monday. I don't give a fuck. I'll be like, someone could say, oh yeah, this guy's a fucking dickhead, made a mistake on Monday, right? Made a mistake on this day. He's an idiot. But this is my journal. This is my process to greatness. And I don't know, like, you're eventually just say at the present moment you may say some shit, but 10 minutes later you wouldn't give a fuck because you have your own problems in your life. Everybody has their own problem in their life. So me uploading this video is not gonna do anything to you guys. It's not doing anything to me. It's just gonna benefit me. It's gonna benefit some of you guys who are attitude people who are ambitious and they're wise, because a dumb person will make excuses while a wise person lives from everything and everyone. Because you don't want to go through the same struggle I'm going through. If you go through the same struggle I'm going through, you're probably going to take you at least 2 times longer to get. It's probably going to take you 2 times longer to get you to your destination that you want to go to. If you want to go through that, bumping on the fucking wall constantly. You have to be wise, learn from somebody else, like such as me. I literally watch my own videos back to back. I don't give a fuck, because like I said, it's journaling. Every profession has a journaling. How does a soccer player, even soccer players have their own journal. Before they go, they have a journal of the gameplay they want to do. They literally, my brother is like he's not a pro, he's a coach, right? But he gets paid a lot. He still plays a little bit soccer. I constantly see him journal. He plays the game. The videos are uploaded to social media. He goes watches it, right? He does how he literally takes notes, journals down what he did, journals down every single aspect of his game that he played during that during that game. And eventually the next day he takes it to his coach or whatever. He used that journal to improve. So he goes to training practice next day and look at those flaws that he had during that game and improve on those flaws and improve, because everybody has their own journal. I have my own journal, which is YouTube. Your journal could be Notion app. Your journal could be anything. You could do your own type of journal. But yeah, let's get straight down to the weekly market recap. We're just gonna go over the first segments out of the 5, which is the Monday trade. I'm not gonna go throughout the whole week on this one video. It's gonna take too fucking long. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's already 5 minutes, right? So I'm gonna take like 15 minutes or at least an hour. But we're gonna go here because if I do the whole thing, I'll get gaslighted and I fucking forget what I talked about throughout the whole video, because there'd be so much information. Because this week is so valuable. I love this week. This week I love it. I fucking love this whole week. Very valuable week. But yeah, let's get straight into it, to Monday trade. On the Monday, let me give you a top down analysis to the Monday before we go any further to the lesson and to the trade. Monday, we should have not had a setup at all on a Monday. So Monday we had a weekly IRL to ARL weekly series to the upside, as well on a daily time frame. We had a daily, we're in a discounted range. We had a daily IRL back to daily discounted IRL to PM ERL, daily series to the upside. There was not much context here on the higher time frame did have context, but the lower time frame context and narrative didn't have that much context here. So that's what I'm saying. Monday should have not been a trading day, because he was like very interested to me. Like, damn, there's not that much context here. How the fuck? There was only like a New York profile 1 accumulation, 5 a mid-position, 9 expansion, nothing else. The order flow was bearish. There was no ranges. There was nothing like that. There was ranges here, but the ranges already broken out of here. I believe market will still go up higher from here to the longer term basis, but the ranges are, the ranges didn't even make sense during that time. So there was not much of a market context. Now, if you go to lower time for the market execution after the 1 AM CRT low got soup, once the 1 AM CRT low got soup, we had an entry here, and Revenue had a stop loss. Now, looking back on a Monday, now this is the week has ended. Now I can look over to Monday and see my third-person view. During that time, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, right? Going back in time, checking my Monday trade. During the time that I took that trade, I felt FOMO. I was like, yeah, man, I made bullshit excuses like body isn't that big. I'm just taking Model 1, this is a good trade. Model 1, I could take the trade on the Model 1, put my stop loss right on the, low level Model 1. The body isn't that big. I made bullshit theory. Although I showed proof, evidence of the threshold getting tapped, of the resistance block getting tapped. When does the threshold get tapped? When the body overweights the wick, and when the body is thick, bulky. This case is a what? It's a fucking 22.4 pip stop loss. That's a wide. That's a big ass candle. It's a thick candle. So our initial entry is supposed to be on the threshold. How can we bypass this? Is when the market doesn't pulse into the upside or downside, and it doesn't make sense logically for the market to go back to the threshold. So we could, when that happens, we could just go on the Model 1 itself and put our stop loss right on the Model 1 body of the Model 1. Why? Because in the threshold, it doesn't make sense for the market to go back to the threshold. That stop loss is safe. And but when we still enter the trade, and market did tap your entry, went into a loss. As you guys know, we can only take a trade between 6 AM to 12 PM. Anything that happens right after his 12 PM, we're not taking a trade. We're done. Why? Because that's a kill zone. That's our duration, and when we are looking for a setup, we're not looking for a setup any time after 12 PM. Right when his 12 PM, we're done for the day. No matter if there's a setup or not. Right at 12 PM, I close the charts and I go on my day. I don't care if I'm in a trade either way. If I'm in a trade, I don't care. I just close the chart, go away, go on with my day, and come back later to 8 PM, 6 PM, or whenever something happens in the chart. And looking back at it, as I said, this is more of a third person view. Monday should have been no trading day. There's two reasons. Reason number one, at first, we're supposed to enter the threshold. Cool. But went to the model one. I said I FOMO it in. There's a lesson. So on Monday, we're supposed to at first enter the model one. The only time we bypass, not the model one, we're supposed to enter the threshold. The only time we bypass the threshold entry is when the market does an impulse move to the upside. So when does the market do the impulse move to the upside? Right around here. This right over here, when the market pushed up all over here, that is an impulse move to the upside. Now we're ditching the threshold and we enter the model one itself, but we're putting our stop loss right below the body. Now that's scenario number one of how to bypass, the threshold. That's not all the bypass ways. That's the only way. So at first, we're supposed to enter the threshold. Okay, cool. We're not in a trade. Now market has a big impulse to the upside. Okay, now we're looking to put our setup right on the model one itself and put our stop loss right below the threshold of the body of the model one without the wick. Because wick doing the damage brought into the story. Now I'm waiting for this to get tapped. The model one itself to get tapped and go up higher, but went to before that, which should have not been it because we FOMOed in. And you can see the market overall never tapped it until 12 p.m. 12 p.m. came around, it tapped and eventually went to a loss instantly. Why? Because after 12 p.m., if your setup is wrong, you will hit your stop loss quick. And you can see right after 12 p.m., you did bullshit around. Your stop loss eventually closed a daily candle right around here. Now, the lesson of Monday is we should have not been in trade. Why? At first, we're supposed to enter threshold. Cool. Market after that. Market did impulse to the upside. Now we can enter the model one itself, put our stop loss below the body. Cool. But the model one itself never got tapped before 12 p.m. So after that, 12 p.m. get hit, we're not in a trade. We're not looking for a trade because the 12 p.m. get hit and the market never tapped the model one. It's done for the day. So the lesson of the Monday trade is to do not FOMO in. I cannot FOMO in, and I will not FOMO in, and I do not FOMO in. Because I have evidence backing my statement up. I have proof that the market, when the candle is thick, it would tap the threshold. I have proof when we're supposed to enter a threshold, but the market has a big impulse to the upside or downside, it doesn't make sense logically for the market to go back all the way to the threshold because the market goes back all the way to the threshold of the model one, they're losing too much money. They can't afford that. So logically doesn't make sense. So it doesn't make sense to enter the model one itself and put our stop loss right below the body because the threshold is how not get tapped. So the body stop loss is a safe stop loss as well. Wick doing the damage, body telling the story. And that's the lesson of Monday. So I literally have proof right over here. I have proof of when the wick is overing the body, we are supposed to enter on the resistance block. Fucking Tuesday trade, the CPI trade, our fucking entry is supposed to be the rejection block. The wick is over in the body, probably wondering, well, like visually, if you measure it, it's not. This is when you're using your logical senses / feelings, instincts. If you visually look at this, in my eyes, the wick is stubbornly bigger than the body. In my eyes, it may not look like when I'm measuring it, but in my eyes, it looks bigger. So the rejection block is fucking bigger. But when we're not using emotions, this is an execution entry, so we're supposed to use our emotion here. So after the model one happens, right after we get the right model one, that's when we're looking, okay, this candle too big, this candle small, there is a wick over in the body here. Okay, the wick is over in the body, we can enter the threshold. Our entry is supposed to be the threshold. You can see the market tapped the fucking threshold. And I knew that fucking day, damn. Right when I entered the trade, right when the market went all the way back down to the threshold, I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to enter the threshold. Because when we're supposed to enter the threshold, market will usually do it impulsing back to the upside or downside, tapping the threshold and going back up. But wondering, well, why not threshold? Threshold is like, not a threshold, the resistance block. That's what I mean. I actually did a grammar mistake. Why the resistance block? Because the wick has liquidity resting there. There's a lot of the orders that happen there. So there's a lot of, as you guys know, the wicks, there's like resting orders in the wicks. So since they're resting orders, the resting orders gotta get filled. on that wick, and the wicks fills the the wicks. The market goes back down to the wick, fills the orders, and eventually goes up higher. So the lesson of Monday is I do not FOMO win. Missing is part of the game. FOMO isn't. I only trade when my model is there. If the model is not there, if the model doesn't show up, I don't trade, period. Because missing is part of the fucking game. When you miss a trade, it's part of the fucking game. Not always the market gonna tap your entry. Not always the market gonna give you entry. Missing is always part of the game, but FOMO isn't, and we FOMO on Monday trade. Our entry is supposed to be at first the threshold, eventually the model 1 after big and positive to the upside, which the model 1 never got tapped after before 12 p.m. And eventually we're not looking for no trade. So the lesson of the Monday is I do not FOMO win. The technical analysis was all correct. Overall, you can see Tuesday delivered, Wednesday delivered, but execution wasn't there. Our model one said, having the bias and having the execution, they're two different things. They're two different segments, two different whole dimensions, right? Dimension number one is analysis. You could analyze where the market goes. Okay, you could be correct, but can you profit out of it? You can have execution to the drawn liquidity. In this case, execution says we should have not been in a fucking trade, which I journaled it down and I took as a lesson. And this is right here, the journal. So the lesson on Monday is I do not FOMO win. I will not FOMO win. If the body is over in the wick, if the body is big and if the body is big and thick, I'll enter on the threshold. How can I bypass the threshold? It's only if the market doesn't pull to the upside. Then eventually, okay, the market doesn't make sense to go back to the threshold. We can enter the model 1 itself and put our stop loss right below the body of the model 1. Because the threshold, since the threshold doesn't make sense to get tapped logically, it's a safe stop loss to put our stop loss right on the body of the model 1. So the threshold is not going to get tapped. Weak doing the damage, bottom on the story. That's left on Monday. And yeah, thank you for watching. This is part 1 out of 5 of the weekly market recap. And there's not gonna be a part where it's all combined. There's gonna be just part 1 out of the 5. So yeah, thank you for watching. In this trade, I risked about 2%. So on evals / challenges, my normal risk will be 2% from now on forward. Although we got cooked on Monday, we lost 2%. Tuesday, we didn't make nothing. We supposed to make 11 RR on Tuesday. I think 15 RR on Tuesday, which we entered on break even. On Wednesday, we took another negative 2-hour loss. On Thursday, we took no trades. On Friday, we took another negative 2-hour loss. Which is all normal. It's at the risk, which now I'm more aggressive in the challenges account, which I fucking hate doing challenges. I passed like 8 challenges before. I hate going through these phases, right? But during that time when I passed it, I was way more aggressive as well. And as well as right now, I'm fixing some leaks. So it's all part of me losing. It's all part of the game. We just had to learn here. We cannot rush greatness. And yeah, so that's it on Monday. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and join the description down below. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.